We see them everywhere, on magazine covers, on our TV screens. They are the faces of success, the epitome of what many aspire to be. Billionaires. Their lives seem glamorous. They attend the most exclusive events, rub shoulders with celebrities, and live in a world that seems almost magical. Private jets, sprawling mansions, and endless luxuries. They travel the world in style, own properties in the most coveted locations, and have access to the finest things money can buy. But what we see is often a carefully constructed facade. The glitz and glamour are just the surface, a well-crafted image designed to dazzle and distract. Behind the glitz and glamour lies a complex web of financial strategies designed to do one thing: hide their true wealth. These strategies are intricate, involving layers of financial maneuvers that the average person can hardly fathom. Why the secrecy? It's simple. The less visible their wealth, the less they're required to contribute to the public coffers. Taxes. The ultra-wealthy often pay a surprisingly small percentage of their income in taxes. They employ teams of accountants and lawyers to navigate the labyrinth of tax laws, finding every possible loophole. How do they do it? By using sophisticated methods to shield their assets from the prying eyes of tax authorities. Offshore accounts, shell companies and trusts are just a few of the tools in their arsenal. These methods are legal, but their impact on society is significant. They create a system where the wealthy can avoid their fair share of taxes, leaving the burden to fall on the average citizen. This isn't about a few dollars hidden under a mattress. It's about vast sums of money that are kept out of reach, away from the eyes of tax authorities and the public. We're talking about billions, even trillions of dollars, stashed away in a shadowy financial underworld. This hidden wealth is not just a number. It represents real resources that could be used to address pressing societal needs. This hidden wealth exacerbates inequality, deprives governments of much-needed revenue, and erodes public trust. It creates a world where the rich get richer, while the rest struggle to make ends meet. This is the story of how the world's wealthiest individuals play a high-stakes game of financial hide-and-seek. It's a game with rules that are constantly being bent and stretched to favor those who already have the most. It's a story of loopholes, secrecy, and the vast sums of money that vanish from public view. These loopholes are not accidents. They are often the result of lobbying and influence, ensuring that the system remains skewed in favor of the wealthy. It's a story that demands our attention. As citizens, we have a right to know how these systems work and to demand transparency and fairness. Only then can we begin to address the deep-rooted inequalities that plague our society. One of the most common ways billionaires hide wealth is through shell companies. These companies exist on paper only. They have no real operations or employees. Their sole purpose is to hold assets like yachts, art and real estate on behalf of their true owners. Think of it like a nesting doll. The billionaire is hidden inside layers of shell companies, often incorporated in tax havens with strict secrecy laws. This makes it nearly impossible to trace the assets back to the real owner. Another tactic is using complex financial instruments like derivatives and hedge funds. These investments are shrouded in complexity. They are difficult to value and even harder to tax. These methods are perfectly legal, but they raise serious ethical questions. When the ultra-wealthy can hide their assets so easily, it creates an uneven playing field. It undermines the principle of fair taxation. The mention of offshore accounts often conjures images of shady dealings. While there are legitimate reasons to have offshore accounts, they are often used by the wealthy to avoid taxes. Tax havens are countries with low or zero tax rates on foreign income. These havens offer strict bank secrecy laws. They make it difficult, if not impossible, for foreign governments to access information about account holders. This makes them attractive destinations for those looking to shield their wealth from scrutiny. The Panama Papers and the Paradise Papers, two major leaks of financial documents, exposed the vast scale of offshore tax avoidance. These leaks revealed how politicians, celebrities and corporations used offshore accounts to hide their wealth. The use of offshore accounts is a global problem. It requires a global solution. Increased transparency and cooperation between countries are crucial to combating this practice. Section 4. Trusts, passing the buck generation after generation. Trusts are legal entities that hold assets for the benefit of beneficiaries. They are created to manage and protect assets, ensuring that they are distributed according to the wishes of the person who established the trust. They are often used for estate planning, allowing individuals to control how their assets are distributed after their death. This can include everything from real estate and investments to personal belongings and family heirlooms. But they can also be used to shield wealth from taxes and creditors. By placing assets in a trust, individuals can often reduce their tax liability and protect their wealth from legal claims. Billionaires can set up complex trust structures in jurisdictions with favorable tax laws. These offshore trusts are often located in countries known as tax havens, where financial regulations are less stringent. This allows them to pass on their wealth to their heirs with minimal tax liability. By doing so, they can ensure that their descendants maintain their financial advantages, often for many generations. These trusts can be structured to provide for generations to come. They can include provisions that ensure the wealth is managed and distributed in a way that benefits future generations, maintaining the family's financial legacy. While trusts can serve legitimate purposes, their use in tax avoidance schemes perpetuates wealth inequality. This practice allows the wealthy to avoid paying their fair share of taxes, contributing to the growing gap between the rich and the poor. It allows the wealthy to pass on their advantages to future generations, while others struggle to make ends meet. This creates a cycle of inequality, where the rich get richer and the poor remain disadvantaged. The lack of transparency in the trust industry makes it difficult to assess the true extent of their use in tax avoidance. Without clear regulations and oversight, it is challenging to determine how much wealth is being hidden in these trusts. Greater regulation and oversight are needed to ensure that trusts are not used for illicit purposes. Governments and financial regulators must work together to create laws that promote transparency and fairness in the use of trusts. By implementing stricter regulations, we can help ensure that trusts are used for their intended purposes, such as protecting assets and providing for future generations, rather than as tools for tax evasion and wealth hoarding. It is crucial for society to address these issues to create a more equitable financial system. Only through collective action and policy changes can we hope to reduce wealth inequality and ensure a fairer distribution of resources. Together, we can build a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive and where the benefits of wealth are shared more equally across all generations. Section 5. The Tax Haven Tango, a dance of legality and loopholes. Tax havens are at the heart of the global wealth-hiding industry. These financial sanctuaries are strategically located around the world, providing a safe harbor for the assets of the ultra-wealthy. These countries, often small island nations or jurisdictions with low corporate tax rates, offer a haven for the assets of the ultra-wealthy. The picturesque landscapes and luxurious lifestyles they offer are just the surface of a much deeper financial strategy. The allure of tax havens is simple: lower taxes. By promising significantly reduced tax rates, these jurisdictions attract vast sums of money from individuals and corporations looking to minimize their tax liabilities. By shifting their wealth to these jurisdictions, billionaires can significantly reduce their tax burden. This process often involves complex financial maneuvers and the use of offshore accounts, trusts and shell companies to obscure the true ownership of assets. This deprives their home countries of billions of dollars in revenue that could fund essential public services. The impact is felt in the form of underfunded schools, hospitals, and infrastructure projects that are crucial for the well-being of society. The legal landscape surrounding tax havens is complex. Navigating this intricate web of laws requires a deep understanding of both domestic and international tax regulations. While many of the practices employed are technically legal, they exploit loopholes and inconsistencies in international tax law. These loopholes are often the result of outdated legislation that has not kept pace with the rapid globalization of finance. This legal grey area makes it difficult to crack down on tax avoidance. Tax authorities are often left playing catch-up, trying to close loopholes as quickly as they are discovered. The fight against tax havens is a David and Goliath struggle. Small businesses and ordinary taxpayers often feel the brunt of the tax burden, while large corporations and wealthy individuals can afford the legal expertise to navigate and exploit the system. Developing countries, in particular, are disproportionately affected by tax avoidance. The loss of tax revenue in these nations can be devastating, leading to a lack of funding for critical services such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure development. They often lack the resources to combat these sophisticated schemes. With limited budgets and outdated technology, tax authorities in developing countries face an uphill battle in their efforts to enforce tax laws and close loopholes. International cooperation and reform are essential to address the issue of tax havens. By working together, countries can create a more transparent and fair global tax system that benefits all citizens, not just the wealthy few. The ultimate goal is to ensure that tax revenues are used to build stronger, more equitable societies. When everyone pays their fair share, communities can thrive and the benefits of economic growth can be more widely shared.